Alright, what is going on, guys? I know it's been a while since I made a video. It's been like 7 days, so a week. But that is because I'm currently tapering for my powerlifting meet, so I'm really not doing much. So I haven't really known what to record. But today I'm sharing with you guys how I balance my powerlifting and marathon training. If you don't know, last year I competed in my first powerlifting meet, and then this year I raced my first marathon, which was on October 6th. It is now December 5th, so 2 months post-marathon. But so I ran a 3:15 for my first ever marathon, and I'm now doing a powerlifting meet on December 8th. So in 3 days, I've got my powerlifting meet. And then in 2025, I'll be running the Austin Marathon in February, and then I'll also be running the Eugene Marathon in April, and then I'll also be doing an Ironman 70.3 on May 25th in Canada. I think it's in Victoria. But yeah, I've got big plans for 2025. I'm so excited. But right now I'm focusing on powerlifting, so that's why my training is a lot different than when it was during my marathon prep. So that's why throughout this whole video, just gonna be sharing with you guys how I'm able to train for both at the same time and ensure that I keep my fitness at least in one if I'm trying to get better at the other. But yeah, let's get on to the number one thing that I think everyone should know if you're a hybrid athlete. Before I get into any of the tips, actually, I forgot to mention, you guys are probably like, anyone could compete in a powerlifting meet. My all-time totals are a 500 squat, a 315 bench, and a, for now, 500 deadlift. But during this powerlifting meet prep, I have been actually repping 500. So I'll put videos on the screen for all of them.
Let's fuck.
For a little fact check, if you will. But the number one thing with a hybrid training, and I promise you this goes for any hybrid athlete that you see online, that you may know, whatever it is, you have to be specific with your training. Now, let's say, so as you guys know, as I stated earlier, I ran a marathon in October. I started my prep for that in like June. But during that time, that doesn't mean I wasn't lifting or like going to the gym. The number one thing with hybrid training is specificity. Now, since I was going for a marathon and I wanted to run it fast, I wanted to do well in it, majority of my focus was on that marathon. Now, unfortunately, this is going to break a lot of your hearts out there. It is not possible. It might be possible, but you will not see the gains that you would if you were to focus more on one. Now, for example, during my marathon prep, I was still lifting heavy. I made sure I ate right, ate enough calories, ate enough protein, because I wanted to ensure that every time I go to the gym, I'm not losing any strength. I wanted to make sure that my biggest goal throughout my whole marathon prep was to ensure that I did not lose any strength. Now, there were moments of time where I was even able to get a little stronger, but as my mileage increased more and more, and once I was getting up to like 60 miles per week, I just could not gain any more strength. It was just extremely difficult. And maybe I could have like been a little bit more meticulous about some things, and maybe that would have helped. But with the amount of stress that was being placed on my body from running about 60 miles a week, it was extremely difficult for me to gain any strength. But I was still always able to maintain my strength. And now this is where it gets important to either write it down or have it in your head that you know what you can currently do. So for example, for a lot of my marathon prep, I wouldn't really go over 405s, like 425. I would kind of stay at that weight, but I would either try to do more reps or at least at the bare minimum is to do the same amount of reps as the week before. Now, this goes for like any movement in the gym. With every movement I did, I'm ensured that I did at least the same amount of repetitions as the week before. And now that I'm in my powerlifting prep, I was able to easily transition because of how much strength I was able to maintain. Now, if I would have taken the gym way lighter and not pushed myself as hard, I would have for sure lost a lot of strength. And then going into this powerlifting prep, I would have been a lot weaker going into it. Now, muscle memory is a thing, but with how close my marathon was and my powerlifting meet, I wanted to ensure that I did as best as I could in both. I had to make sure that I didn't lose anything in either. And it's the same thing going into my next marathon prep after this powerlifting meet. Right now, I'm focusing like 90% into my powerlifting meet, but then I'm still running though. Like I'm still running, but nowhere near as much as I was on marathon prep. But since I'm still running, I'm obviously not running marathons or anything, but I'm still running consistently. And that consistency is what will help me carry over into my next marathon prep, which is in February. So if you guys like have a visual of this timeline, we go from October marathon, then December powerlifting meet, and then February another marathon. So there's only about 2 months in between each one, which is why, for me at least, since I'm doing it that way, I'm choosing to do it that way, it's extremely important that I make sure that I'm still well-rounded. Now, I bet you, if I were to not do this powerlifting meet at all, then that February marathon, I'd probably be do way better. But I don't care that much. I don't want to just be a runner. I love still lifting heavy, and which is why I'm doing this powerlifting meet. And so if you're just a runner, then it makes sense for you to only focus on running and gradually just increase mileage, stay at a high mileage. But for someone like me and other hybrids, it is so important to just specifically focus on one goal, but that doesn't mean you completely disregard the other goal at all. You want to still do both, and you want to still push yourself in both. So with this powerlifting meet, a lot of it has just been extremely dialed in on powerlifting, and then I'm using running, low zone 2 running, to supplement that. Now, I'm making sure that I don't do anything too rigorous, or because I don't want to lose any strength, and I want to be able to maximize how much strength I can put on while still running. That's the goal. This is the goal as a hybrid athlete. I'm not trying to be the strongest 181 pounder in the US or whatever, or the world. I want to be as good as I can while still doing the other things that I enjoy. And that's the thing with hybrid training. The reason I do it is because I love doing both. I love the challenge that both provide, and that's where I find enjoyment. Now, I completely understand that I could probably do way better in each one separately if I were to focus on just one for an extended period of time, but I know I wouldn't enjoy that. I love both disciplines so much. And so really the biggest thing is just being specific with your goals and your workouts. Like if you're planning to run a marathon and you still love to weightlift and you don't want to lose any muscle, then don't allow yourself to. Continue putting stress on your body to ensure that you keep on the muscle that you do have. And that's really the biggest thing. It's the same thing with running. If you're focusing on powerlifting meet like I am now, the biggest thing is ensure that you're still pushing yourself in the gym, but you're still doing some zone 2 stuff as well, so you're not just completely letting all your running gains go out the window. And that's my biggest thing. So that's really how I balance them. If you guys want a week-to-week breakdown, day-to-day breakdown, I'm happy to give it to you. Just let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, powerlifting meet is in 3 days, and then after that we'll be just over 8 weeks out from the Austin Marathon. So prep for that literally starts on December 9. I'm gonna rest December 9, and then December 10 is first day of marathon prep. I already have, this is the thing too. You have to plan stuff out. Like, plan everything out. This ensures that nothing can go wrong because you have it all planned. For example, I already have my training for, like, the day that my powerlifting meet is over, December 8th, I already have my training from December 9 all the way to May 25th planned out. Now, I know sometimes things get in the way, but I like to have that all sorted out to ensure that like everything's already there. I have the plan already, and all that's left to do is to just execute that plan. And if you don't have a plan, you want a plan, message me. I'll try to help anyone out. But it's like, if you don't have a plan, it's so much easier to just slack off and not get the things done that you want to get done. So one of my favorite things is always writing out a plan. And yeah, I'm excited for 2025. It's going to be so fun. My biggest goal of 2025 is to run a sub-3 marathon, keep the same strength that however strong I am on my powerlifting meet. That is the standard that I'm going to hold myself to throughout all of 2025. And if not, hopefully even get a little stronger. But set the standard, hold yourself to it, plan, execute. That's all there is to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.